So today I'm going to be building a PC. This is our case. It's a Thermaltake. I don't know if you guys see that. It's a Thermaltake V3, I think, Black Edition. I'm not too sure. It's a mid-tower. This is kind of a budget build, so this is the case, and now I'm going to be installing the power supply. Here's the power supply. It's a solid gear. I've actually never used this power supply before, but this is a budget build. I think I built it under $250. I did use used parts, and I'll get to those in a minute. And it was $26. I've never had experience with this before, but it was cheap and it's 600 watts. Now I know it's not good to buy cheap power supplies, but this is a budget build again, not my main build. I'm just doing this for a friend, or I'm gonna buy multiple parts and do testing on it. Okay, so that's the power supply. So I recommend here's the power supply. Here's the power supply. Yeah, it's silver. It's got all this stuff here, and see right there. I recommend you install the power supply first. And yeah, these are the screws that came with it. Let me just undo this. So here's the inside of the case. We've got our power cable right here. It goes into the back of the power supply and into the wall. Here are the screws and the brass standoffs. I don't know if I need brass standoffs. Here's some zip ties for cable management. Here's the fan, the rear exhaust fan, and here are the front head connectors. We'll worry about that later. So it's very easy to install the power supply. You just get it like this, and move this out of the way, and this out of the way. You get it like this. Make sure this is the front facing out way, and then it slides in. Just like that. And now I will flip the case to the back, and you can see these holes right here, and that's where the 4 screws are going to go into. If this is your first time building a PC, I recommend using a manual screwdriver instead of an automatic one, because you might, do it too much and it might injure the motherboard. So it'll go into these 4 slots right here, like I said before. Alright, that's it. That's how you install the power supply. And it's like that, slide it under those, and here are the cables for it. Don't worry about the cables. Put them in like that. Now, we'll install. Now we're going to get to the motherboard. So here's our motherboard right here. It's a FM2 plus socket, or FM2. This is kind of, not obsolete, but it is old. It's not overclockable. I got it used. To be honest, it's cheap. It's whatever. So let's open that up. And what you'll find is the manual, SATA cables, the driver disc, which you don't really need, but whatever. And then the motherboard itself is right here. It's in an anti-static bag to prevent shocking. Now the best place to work on the motherboard, just close the box back up and take the motherboard out of its anti-static bag, and try your best not to hold it from the bottoms. It's really delicate. Try not to touch any of these or any of that. Just place it right here on the box. And so that's our motherboard. And now we're going to install the RAM. This is 8 gigabytes of DDR3, and its speed is 1,333 megahertz. So let me now I got these for free actually, because my friend, he upgraded his PC. So this is the RAM. He upgraded his PC and then he needed DDR4. So he just gave me these DDR3 ones for free. So thank him for that. Camera in my hand, and here's where we will be installing the RAM. So you see these little flaps at the top? These have to go down to open it. See, they just switch down. I recommend you go closer to the socket, because if you put the heatsink on, it might be harder to put. If you put these instead, these gray ones instead of the black ones, it might be difficult for you to add more RAM later on. So you get the RAM module, which is right here, DDR3, and there's a little notch or a chip knocked out in the middle, and you have to match it with the one here, and you line it up like that. And you press down like this till these close by themselves. Okay, the RAM is in. You see, it locked in on itself right here, right there, and right there. Now we'll get the other one right here. And see, we did black, now we gotta put it in black. Don't do black and here next to each other. It doesn't work like that. So put these back. And then slide this in. And you'll hear it click. And now the RAM is installed. Simple as that. Now we're going to install the CPU. It is a AMD Athlon 4X 845. Yeah, 845 right here. It was used. I got it for, I think, 40 bucks. It's really nice. Yeah, so that's it. So the way is, you open it up right here from the top. It comes with its own heatsink, just like the Intel ones. Here's the CPU. And then here's the heatsink. Now you're gonna have to get the CPU out. So the way this works is, here's the CPU, and there's a little notch here, or a little plastic that's sticking out, and you put your thumb in there and you just point up, and the CPU will open like that. Now don't worry, you can touch all this. That's not really a problem. Hold it by the edges, like that. And be careful, do not bend these pins right here, nor touch them, because if these are touched or bent, you're in trouble. So now, Here is the socket where we will be installing the CPU, which is in my hand right here. Now, this is how you see this little metal piece. You slide it up like that and pull it up. And now, how you get this in is, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little triangle at the end right there. It matches with the golden triangle here. So you just place it on, and it just sits there, okay? And now you just close the arm. Now don't be afraid to put a little bit of pressure on it because it has to lock it into place. And that's how you install the CPU. Now we will add thermal paste onto the CPU. Now here's the thermal paste I'm using. Right here, this is the thermal paste I will be using. It came with this CPU fan that I bought. I haven't used this. Now my intentions are to use the stock cooler and test it out if it's how well it is, and I'm most likely gonna change it out with this one because I'm sure this one will cool it more, but I want to see how well that will cool it. So we're first gonna install this, and then in a later video I might install this. Okay. So right here, put her in the middle and just squeeze out. Right there, a little bit. That's enough. Now here's the Here's the CPU fan. Let me get it out of the box and show you. It's very tiny. Right here. It's right there. Now the thermal paste, I took it off because I wanted to apply new thermal paste. And here's the connector. So the way this works is, you see these little notches? Right here, there's a little like notch right here. You can see on my finger. These go on it. So just like that, you want to place it on it. In there. Okay, so all the parts are in. Okay, they're in. Now you have to plug in the CPU fan. Right there, it says CPU fan. Now I recommend you tie this in a knot a little bit for cable management. Like this, because it's a little easier. It won't get in the way of everything. Or your case will look a lot neater if you care. So that's in. So that's in. Now we will put the motherboard into the box. So here's the motherboard. Here's where it will be installed. And I've already installed the I/O shield, which is not that difficult. Now this motherboard, I don't think we don't need the brass standoffs, because these are actually like sticking up, if you can see. So we don't really need the brass standoffs. Right there, you can see all this right there. And there's one right there. There's one right here. There's one right here. Right here, right here, right here. So you take the motherboard like that. And you slide it in like that. So we're gonna be screwing in up here, up here, they're marked by circles. There, right there, and down here and down here. Let me first screw in a few so it's in place, and then I'll show you. Now I have screwed in most of the parts. You don't have to get all of them, just enough so the motherboard doesn't fly out of the case or fall down when you lift it up. And now we will be installing the graphics card. Here's the graphics card. I know it is an old one. It is a GTX 660 Ti. It is an old one, but I did get it for $40, and this is just the PC I'm putting together. I actually have a GTX 960 that I bought for $60. It's the armored MSI version that I'm probably going to swap out, and I'm going to do some benchmarks, most likely. So the way, this is PCIe Express operated, so these actually go into the PC. That's what the slot is for. Now what you want to do is, we'll be installing it on the first one right here. Now you want to take two of these out. Take this out like that. And I think I have to break these ones off, which is, I don't like when cases make you do that. Yeah, it looks like we gotta break this out. So you see it bends. You want two spaces. Kind of have to bend it out. See, I'm fighting it. It comes off, you can throw this away. So now, you see this notch right here? It's like the RAM module when we were installing the RAM. This has to be down. And when you plop the graphics card in, it'll tink back up. So you take the graphics card right here, get it like this, so it's facing down, and then just right there, you see that? Line it up, and there it goes. And it's in, as you can see right here. Here are the slots, here's the HDMI and the monitor. And now we have to screw this in. You need two screws right here. I don't know if you can see it really well, but the one is gonna go in there and one is gonna go in there. So like that, I got the screw in. And now we just tighten it. All right, so right here, just like that, tighten that down, and you're good. Now, since this is an old GPU, it requires two 6-pin connectors, and unfortunately this power supply does not have two 6-pin connectors. It's got these Molex connectors, and I have this thing right here. This will help. This power supply does have one 6-pin connector right here, so we will put that in. Make sure the notch, this thing right here on the top, is down, facing down, and it just goes like that. Goes in like this, and it clicks in place. Now, you see these? These match up with these, like that. They just plug in like that, and we plug this, we plug that into that now. Molex cables are a little hard to get in. Don't be afraid to use force, but of course, don't overdo it. Now, this goes in like this, and that's in. Motherboard connector, it's very easy to tell where it goes. So this one right here, and make sure the notch is on the outside like this. And that just clicks into place, just like that. And actually, we should plug in the rear exhaust fan, but I just plugged it in here. It's okay. And we'll do something with that. Now this right here is the the front wires. And it'll tell you what it is. Like you see, like AC 97, USB, HD audio, and this will show you where to plug them in, thankfully. See, it says on the, see right there? See right there, audio, and you know, USB, there's 2 USB, and then this is the, right here. I know you can't see it, but that's like the, for the switches that turn the power, that turn the PC on. Right there. You just plug them in. Plug in the audio and the USB down here. There's a pin, I don't know if you can see it from there, but there's a pin knocked out, so you can only install it one way, thankfully. All the shit out of my way, dude. I can't see anything. So now I've plugged everything in. We're going to install our storage, which is a 1 terabyte Toshiba hard disk. Now I know it's 2017 and you know there's SSDs, but this is a budget build again. And to be honest, in my recommendation, I would say you need at least 1 terabyte of anything, at least, because my main computer, I built it in 2000, I think the summer of 2014, and I'm almost out. So 1 terabyte, and I do everything. I do video editing, I do gaming, mainly gaming, but I recommend 1 terabyte. If you can get a 1 terabyte SSD, you're golden, but 1 terabyte SSDs cost like 200. That's the build. This build costed me like 250, 270. That's the price of like a 1 terabyte SSD, especially if you're gonna get a Samsung one, which are highly good. I'm gonna unbox the hard drive. You open it like this, and it slides out like this. It's a warning saying like, oh great, this will cause cancer. Good, I need that. So let's take this stuff off. You don't need that. It comes in an anti-static bag, of course. You just tape it, untape it, get it out like this. Here's the hard drive, Toshiba, 1 terabyte. This is SATA powered right here. Here's the SATA cable for the data, and here's the power. Now we will install it into the box. God damn it, there's fucking screws everywhere. I stepped on a fucking screw. Fuck me. Okay. So it's gonna install in here. You can't, I'll show you with my great camera skills. It's gonna install in there. It's dark, you can't see shit, but it's gonna install in there. So here's our SATA cable that came with the motherboard. This one is gonna plug into the back of the hard drive like this. Here's the hard drive. See this thing right here? It's gonna plug in right there. See how you heard the click? Like that. It's a click. And there's a little prong thing you push down and pull it out. Now this part is gonna go into the motherboard. Oh, I gotta slide this bitch in. Okay, I slid it in. It's locked into place thanks to this. And now we get the cable right here. And we gotta plug it in. Right there. Heard that click? That's good if you're clicking, that's good. It's not good if you're out of ammo. Now I gotta power it, right? You get one of these right here. This is the power. Oh fuck, I can't even see it. That's in. Now we gotta get this back in. Okay, that's in. That looks really bad, but I will fix it. So that's it. We don't need a optical drive because you can just skip out. They're like $16. I do have one upstairs, but we're not gonna really use it. And it's kind of a waste of space and power. So if you can, if I were you, I would skip it unless you're gonna watch, like, I guess if you still use CDs. Now I'm gonna do some cable management, which will take a while, and I'll be back. Gonna do some cable management. Where are the ties? Cheap ass motherfuckers only gave me like 4. Holy fuck, this looks bad. This looks horrible. Fuck me, senseless. Dude, get the fuck in, man. Come on. It's satisfactory, I guess. It's fuck me. Here, Jonathan. Yo, what the fuck? That shit. Okay. Now, I know it still looks pretty bad, but I did do some cable management. I mean, I'm not a boss. You know, this is the second PC I am building. So it doesn't matter too much. And now I'm gonna power it on. Where the hell is an outlet? Ladies and gentlemen, it's live. It is on. The CPU fan is spinning. The exhaust fan is spinning. The fan under here is spinning. Everything is spinning. See, I will press it again. Power's off. And now I press it again. Power's on. It's incredible. Thank you for watching, and I apologize for the camera. This is the first time I'm making a video like this. I just wanted to share my knowledge of PCs, I guess. And let me know if this tutorial helped you. I guess this was a tutorial, I don't know. And do you please comment, rate, and subscribe. It helps a lot. In the next video, I will be doing a tutorial on installing Windows, because that's software, and the BIOS and everything. And then later on I'll have videos of benchmarks of games. Like I said, I have the GTX 960. I'm going to swap out parts. This is going to be kind of like a guinea pig machine where I'm going to swap out like CPUs, RAM, mainly CPU and GPU. And thank you for watching.